I'm the bad guy for not wanting to help my sister anymore. I have a sister. This is a reasonably healthy woman. She currently has 2 kids, 3 male and 1 female, and I've spent most of the last almost 4 years helping take care of her and her kids. My family even moved to the apartment she lives in, a few floors below her, so we could just be near while her husband is working. He wakes up at 6 a.m., goes to work at 9, and returns at almost 11. We principally moved here because she needed our help, as she is alone most of the day, and she gets sick while pregnant the first time. We never live in a city as we come from a little town, and adapting was hard. I had to stay at my sister's from 7 a.m. until her husband got home until a few months ago. And I started in online, but I had to repeat a smallest course. I couldn't find the time for doing things as I spent all the time where she lives. And I can't do the things as far as other people. Principally, this is because I got sick almost 5 years ago and haven't recovered, as I cannot get treatment because we can barely pass the months living here in the city. And before we were saving the money so I could get it, but my parents spent that money helping my sister. She judges me all the time, and my mom agrees with her, saying that I'm lazy and dramatic for being slow or looking tired all the time, and that I'm young and my body should be good as new, saying she was when she was my age, and my mom agrees with her all time, which left me feeling really bad. My sister wasn't there when I got sick, but she knew I was, and that I didn't actually receive treatment for it, and that most I could get was taking pills for my heart. Recently, I feel really angry at her for all those years because she had a really bad abdomen pain, and she called paramedics to her home to check her up, as they have the money to call them. Medics said she only had gastritis, as she confessed she ate something bad. It cost a lot of money just for them to examine her. And money I feel it was lost to something she could have avoided easily. I was worried as she described that the pain was so bad she couldn't stand, and it reached her calm. I fear that she has something really bad like appendix. But to hear her say that she ate something bad when she knew it was bad, it left me feeling like I was being mocked somehow. I don't want to talk to her anymore or go to help her. I worry about her. I have done what I can to make things better for her family while fighting a body that has me feeling defeated most days. And this has been like a splash of cold water at my face. I'm getting easily irritated at her, and I try to not say anything, but I want to yell at her that if she has the luxury of getting herself sick by doing something she knows she couldn't do, knowing how much it costs, when she should help my parents get me a treatment or at least stop mocking me for being sick. Am I the bad guy for not wanting to help my sister anymore? Am I the bad guy for being sarcastic over text? My dad's new family has a habit of being very unreliable about plans and commitments. They have promised to go to church performances, on theater performances, even small birthday celebrations, and simply never showed up without so much as a text or phone call. They had a baby in April. And normally, I will understand if that was the reason, but not only has this happened before the baby was even conceived, they take him everywhere, and I truly mean everywhere. Rodeos, friend houses, bonfires, etc. In May, my father was going to help me change some guitar strings, I'd received a hand-me-down guitar that was in good shape, but the strings had rusted completely. Being new to guitar, I asked him to help. Long story short, he never showed and never notified me. When asked why, he sent a long snarky text about how he has more important thing to do. His wife agreed and said that not everything is about me. I understand that, but I gave up asking him for things after that. Most recently, what I believed to be the straw that broke the camel's back, my stepmom promised to have Girls' Day today, Friday. She made the promise on Sunday. I figured she'll text about details and such a few days before, but Wednesday, then Thursday rolled around and I heard nothing. I figured there was something to do with the baby, but we recently found out she dropped him off at her parents' house and went shopping. I'm so beyond hurt and angry. Nothing hurts more than knowing they don't want to spend time with me and don't even respect me enough to send me a text. So, after hearing about the shopping trip, I sent her a text that read, "Whoa, Girls' Day was so fun, let's do it again sometime." Perhaps a little unnecessary, but since my previous attempts of trying to politely see why I was ditched were met with rude responses, I felt this was my only option. My family has since been divided, and a lot of people are telling me I was unnecessarily rude. But I think she was rude for ditching me for a shopping trip and not even having the decency to text me and let me know. What do you think? Am I the bad guy for shutting the door in my sister's face after she gave her daughter the same name as my stillborn daughter? 4 years ago, I lost my daughter Rosie through a stillbirth. It was a huge shock because I went into labor thinking we were going to have a healthy little girl at the end, but she never ever took a breath. My husband and I were reeling from the shock. Somebody was sure what had happened either. We had announced to people that I had gone to give birth, and then we had to notify people that she was gone. I don't remember much from the weeks that followed. I get so depressed. I spent time in a hospital after my husband grew so concerned about me. Last year, I gave birth to our son, and his arrival was a real turning point for me. I had done all the therapy and healing I could, but having my son help in a way nothing else could. My family were always aware of this. Everyone knew Rosie's name. We had announced her name at my baby shower, and it was engraved on her urn. My sister announced her pregnancy in February, and I was so excited for her. When she said she was having a girl, she seems to take that I might struggle hearing that, but I was honestly so happy for her. She never mentioned the name. I never asked. I have always believed something like that is up for the parents to reveal in their own time. My niece was born 3 weeks ago. My sister posted the announcement of her arrival with her name, Rosemary Rosie. In her post, she declared that baby Rosie will go by Rosie, but they had given her a substantial name because they cared about their daughter's future and how they didn't want to stick her with a juvenile nickname as her given name. I read through the whole post in so much shock that I had to read it 2 more times, and I needed to get my husband to read it to see if he read in the same way I did. The post read as being so condescending towards my husband and I. The way she dissed the name Rosie as a full name while also using it, and never ever gave me a heads up about it. The post received so much backlash that my sister took it down. Our brother told her she was a freaking bitch and to get rid of the post before my husband or I saw it. I did not acknowledge any of it was happening. I did not reach out to my sister and did not reply to texts from her. But I did talk to our brother and told him I had seen the post and saw my husband, that we read it several times between us before it was removed. My sister came by my house on Wednesday. She did not call or text ahead of time. She just showed up and wanted to talk. I told her I had nothing to say to her and shut the door in her face. She rang our doorbell and knocked several times before giving up. She sent me messages afterwards saying I needed to act like an adult and talk to her, and that shutting the door in her face made me a passive-aggressive bad guy. So, am I the bad guy here? Am I the bad guy for thinking my wife overrated when an elderly woman touched our kid? My wife and I went shopping. I went to different aisles to get some jerky. I had my wife scream help, so I ran over and she was freaking out because an elderly woman hugged our son. You can tell the woman was harmless. The woman's son came along and previously stating that she had dementia and she meant no harm, that she tends to view every child as her child. I said it was okay, and I myself apologized for my wife's overreaction. During this time, I was not paying attention, and my wife called 911 and called over security. It became a huge mess for all parties because my wife was not letting the issue go. You could also tell the son was extremely embarrassed as I was. I was trying to relax my wife, but she was going on complete meltdown range, saying that his mother should be in a home if she cannot keep her hands to herself. What if she got our kid sick, tried to kidnap him, got combative and hurt him? All of which I agreed are possibly outcomes. But I told her none of that happened, so let's just leave it. Security states since the wife called the police, we had to wait for them to show up so they can file a report as per their store policy. About 25 minutes later, police showed up and asked what happened, and my wife explained everything. You can tell the police were like, hell is wrong with this woman. I felt nothing but disappointment. Police took the statement and started laughing as they laughed, gave the son of the elderly woman a first bump and said sorry. My wife was upset I did not have her side. She was upset how I took the side of the son instead of her. I explained his mom was clearly sick. It was a harmless gesture and explained she was one that acted unreasonably. I did acknowledge her concerns, but nothing bad happened. We could have just let it slide and went on with our day. She told me I failed as a husband, so we run the story by our family and friends. It is a 50-50 split, so my brother-in-law said this will be a funny story for Am I the Bad Guy? He frequents the sub, so am I the bad guy here? And sorry, forgot to add, our kid is 19 months old. Am I the bad guy for refusing to carpool with my friend to work after she threw me under the bus? Hello, I'm a female 20. I'm currently a university student working part-time at the pharmacy as the cashier. I've been working there for about 1 year and 8 months now, and earlier this year I decided to quit. My employer asked me why, and I told her due to the gas prices haven't been increased. I couldn't make ends meet with having to spend all my money on fuel to get to work, and that's I'll be looking for one part-time jobs closer to my home. My employer then said that she didn't want to lose me as I am a valuable worker in her eyes, and that she offered giving me a raise. She then continued asking me not to tell any of my co-workers, and I complied. Naturally, I did tell my friends and family. A month later, they needed more people to fill in for shifts, and I asked my friend, let's call her Lucy, if she wants to help out, and she said she will only be able to help out for 2 months as she wanted to only focus on her studies. During that time, we carpooled, and the first 2 months she paid half of the gas money, even though I told her she didn't have to, and after that she stopped. Well, 2 months turned into 6 months now, and Lucy was adamant about getting a raise as well. At first, I was surprised, because it wasn't like she paid for gas and rent at home, as she lived with her parents still. I just asked her not to mention my name and about me telling her about my raise. We went through what she was going to say probably about 1,000 times, and she promised not to mention me and play it dumb if they asked about me. To my surprise, I got called into the office, and my employer only told me how she thought she could trust me with confidential information, such as my salary, and that I betrayed her trust. Apparently, Lucy told our employer about my income and that she would like to have the same amount, and after much discussion, my employer obliged. Now my employer doesn't want to look me in the eyes and gives me the cold shoulder. I texted Lucy, and she was pretty nonchalant about it, responding with, "Yeah, they asked about you, and I couldn't lie to them. Not apologize, just that." I was quite angry, and I asked her not to approach me on campus as I needed space. Lucy did call me afterwards, saying that I'm being a drama queen and that it was not that deep. After that, I changed shifts so that we will not be working together for the next 2 months. So she'd have to get to work by her own transport. She will have to drive with her mom's car. All my friends have confronted me, saying that I'm overreacting and being petty, making me feel like I'm the villain. I just feel betrayed after sharing something confidential with someone I thought was my real friend outside of work. Lesson learned: never talk about your salary with anyone. So, am I the bad guy here?